Councillors and guests, I'd like to welcome you all to the Statutory Council meeting for the 8th of November 2023. I'd like to start to open the meeting and welcome everybody. If it's okay, I'll move to the prayer. Almighty God, be with us as we work for the people of the Shire of Murrible. Grant us wisdom that we may care for the Shire as true stewards of your creation. May we be aware of the great responsibilities placed upon us. Help us to be just in all our dealings, and may our work prosper for the good of all. Amen. I'd like to do the acknowledgement of the country. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we are meeting. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and the Aboriginal elders of other communities who may be here today. Councillors and members of the public, in accordance with Council's governance rules, I'd like to note that everybody that this meeting is actually being live streamed and recorded and will be available for the public after this meeting. I wish to acknowledge all councillors are in attendance today, and I'm not aware of any apologies for tonight's meeting. Councillor Edwards, for those people that are in the gallery, is actually just above your head. He's actually overseas and has dialed in. He's not above my head too. There you go. Forgot about that screen. So Councillor Edwards will be participating in line with the new governance rules and the changes that were adopted as part of the previous Local Government Act. Declaration by councillors. Does any councillors have a conflict of interest in any item on the agenda? No? Thank you. Councillors, we will now move to the business listed in the agenda. The first item is to receive the former Mayor's report, and I will invite Councillor Rod Ward to present his report on the November 2022 to November 2023 mayoral term. Thank you, Rod.
Thank you, Derek. Councillors, as the outgoing Mayor, I wanted to take this opportunity to thank my fellow councillors, officers and the community for their support during my 12 months in the role. It's been a very busy 12 months, and whilst it was a difficult decision not to recontest the mayoral election, I will continue to enjoy the flexible work arrangements for my employer as I return to full-time employment, which will allow me to continue to serve as a councillor in 2024. Whilst councillors determine policy direction for the community, to optimise community outcome, a council needs a good working relationship between councillors and management. Councillors rely on advice from officers, and I'm pleased that a very healthy and respectful relationships exist between councillors and the Murrible Shire Council CEO, Derek Madden, senior management and staff. These strong relationships are imperative for navigating the challenging decisions that face us within the modern local government context and our growing municipality. Positive relationships are critical for councillors and staff in achieving our common goal of delivering the best outcomes for the Murrible Shire community, and I thank CEO Derek Madden, the executive management team and all staff for their support over the past 12 months. I think we're very fortunate to have such talented and committed staff within Murrible Shire Council who are passionate about serving the community. As mentioned in the 2022-23 annual report, it's been a year of construction in our Shire, delivering on many projects that have been funded in previous years as well as this year's budget. Some of the highlights include Murrible's new $17 million Bacchus Marsh Indoor Stadium, which is stage 1 of Mark. The Bald Hill and 1001 Steps was added to with the adjoining Telford Park All Abilities Trail. Completion of 3 stages of the Aqualink Trail, connecting the Lurderg River in Darley to the Bacchus Marsh train station. Completion of the new $4.2 million Ballan Sports and Community Pavilion. Completion of the new $5.5 million Darley Sports and Community Pavilion. Completion of Council's new outdoor depot in Ballan, and completion of the $9.4 million West Mattingley Early Years Hub. There's been significant progression at the Bacchus Marsh Racecourse Reserve. Obviously, previously Oval 1 and its pavilion were complete. Ovals 2 and 3 are nearing completion. Exciting to note that plans for the new $6.5 million pavilion at Racecourse Reserve have been signed off and construction will commence in 2024. Detailed designs for the new $12 million Bacchus Marsh Bowls facility have been finalised and construction will also commence in 2024. Detailed design for the new $8 million Ballan Library and Community Centre have been finalised and construction will also commence in 2024. And further construction works to commence in 2024 include the Dunstown Pavilion refurbishment and the Navigators Hall upgrade. Moorabool Shire Council also undertook a road maintenance and improvement blitz after the storm and rain damage in late 2022, with an additional $600,000 allocated to an approximate $10 million investment by council in our roads in 2022-2023. This commitment to further improve our roads will continue in the coming 12 months. From a financial perspective, it's pleasing to note that in achieving the above, council remains in a healthy financial position, with council debt significantly lower than in 2018 and cash reserves higher. A short list of the priorities for the year ahead include continuing to support the community against the Western Transmission lines, advocating for the critically needed Eastern Link Road in Bacchus Marsh, federal funding for the Moorabool Aquatic Facility in Bacchus Marsh, increased funding for road improvements, implementation of Council's new visitor economy strategy and economic development strategy to attract tourism, major events and investment into the Shire, and continued development of the Parwin Employment Precinct. I would again just like to emphasise my thanks to all my fellow councillors. I mentioned when I came on council how much I've appreciated and relied on the support of our experienced councillors, Tom Sullivan, Paul Tatchell, David Edwards and Tonya Dudzik. In particular, I've lent on Tom a bit this year in my first year as Mayor, and I really appreciate your wise counsel, Tom, and your guidance. Thank you very much. Also, I want to pay tribute and thank my Deputy Mayor, Ali Manari. Ali, your support this year has been immense, and a lot of it's been behind the scenes and it's meant a lot. There were some difficult stages over the last 12 months, and I really acknowledge and thank you for your support. And also Moira, your work ethic over the past 12 months at council has been extraordinary, and I do wish to thank you for your support. I look forward to supporting our incoming Mayor and continue to work closely with the Mayor, councillors and all staff to achieve the best outcomes for our Moorabool community in the year ahead. Just in wrapping up, I do want to thank my dear wife who's over there. It's been a good partnership over the last 37 years, and you couldn't be a councillor or you couldn't be a mayor without the support of your partner, so thank you very much, Annie. I also want to thank Di. Di, your support and guidance over the last 12 months has been fantastic, and I've often joked that I do need a full-time carer, but between Annie and you, I just about have that. Just want to present you with a token of my appreciation for your support this year. Thank you very much. Thank you, Don. And in closing, I also want to thank
Secret code.
Celeste and the governance girls.
Oh.
A little gift of my appreciation. I had my L plates on this year as Mayor, and I relied heavily on their support, and procedurally the first couple of meetings I was getting a little bit lost, and they really helped me with their running sheet, and I relied heavily on them, and they made sure that I didn't embarrass myself or the Moorabool Shire Council too much. So, little thank you to Celeste, you and the girls. Thank you very much. Thank you, Derek.
So, councillors, I have a recommendation that the former Mayor's report for the mayoral term November 2022 to November 2023 be received. For people to move that, Councillor Sullivan, seconded Councillor Tatchell. Thank you. Councillor, the next item on the agenda is an expression of thanks to the outgoing Mayor and to the Deputy Mayor. And I would now call on anyone who wishes to express their appreciation to the outgoing Mayor for his term. Councillor Manari.
Thank you, Derek. Rod, I'd really just like to say thank you for just leading us in a wonderful year. It's a challenging year. Obviously, there was, challenges right the way through, and we know what they were. But your passion and your leadership got us through. Your steady leadership and your calm nature in those challenging times were something that I really looked up to. And thank you. As Deputy, you really helped me to sort of, invited me into meetings and really saw that next level. And so well done, Rod. Thank you.
Councillor Tatchell.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. CEO. As most of the people in this room would understand, that it's incredibly complex first year of council, and then to take on the role of Mayor and it comes with a lot of hidden challenges. And there's also the benefits of people who have some experience around the place that sometimes conflicts with the new world order, and it can be very testing at times. It's one of those roles that at times can be incredibly lonely, where you've got 7 people, 7 other councillors with 7 different agendas or 7 different priorities in terms of how they work together or how they try and combine to one decision at a council meeting. And we've been incredibly fortunate over the years, including this year, to have steady hands and be able to navigate that with all the tests that are put before us. Of course, the added complications, the turbulence of state and federal government. We've had the turbulence of even the yes and no vote at times where it's been infiltrated into our daily business. And now we have budgetary issues in terms of both state and federal and probably our own as we move forward. We've certainly had staffing issues in terms of the post-COVID, which has had to be navigated, and there's been a lot of tasks that have had to be concluded in very difficult and circumstances. And the fact that we've still managed to achieve those goals and get those capital works opened and out to the public in trying times is a credit to whoever leads council. And in this particular case, it's the Mayor of the day. So from my perspective, Mr Mayor, I think you've done an excellent job, and I think that you've served council proudly. Thank you.
Councillor Berry.
Thanks, Derek. Yeah, Mr Mayor, I'd like to commend you on a very good year, and as it has been a very difficult year, and being a first-time mayor, I understand the role is new and the difficulties you would have going through everything. You've been a great support to me whenever I've called you, and sometimes I feel like I was in your living room because I was calling you numerous times, and each time if you didn't answer the phone, you'd call me back and you'd find out answers and come back to me, or you had the answers right there. So I commend you on an excellent year, and well done on all the achievements. Thank you.
Councillor Sullivan.
Thank you, Mr CEO. I think I too would like to commend Councillor Ward on his term of Mayor. I think in his report he indicated what a busy year it was for Moorabool and also for his role and also for the Deputy Mayor. I think it's probably fair to say you've always represented council in a positive light. I think that's important, and always sought to promote Moorabool Shire in the best light. And I think by doing so, it's just to keep Moorabool to the forefront of politicians and other agencies. I think it's fair to say that the Mayor's role does have sometimes you've got to take the good and the bad, and I think on balance I think we've been successful, and as leader of the team I think which has had a successful year with the fellow councillors and also the organisation. And in his report the Mayor mentioned the support of his wife and family. I think without the support of our loved ones, our wives and families and that, we couldn't do the role of a councillor or as Mayor. So I think we need to remember that those are the people that support the person who's doing the role of Mayor and councillor. So to that I say thank you and commend all the family members who do support us all as councillors. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Sullivan. Councillor Dudzik.
I'd just like to say to Councillor Ward and also to Councillor Manari that you've both had an excellent year. You both have fantastic meeting procedure. You can present, you arrive at all the events, and you covered the whole area. So as far as I'm concerned, you both did an excellent job and you can both be very proud of yourselves. So thank you.
Sorry, we're obviously going back for seconds. Councillor Berry, and then Councillor Edwards.
Sorry. Apologies, Councillor Edwards. I was remiss of me not to mention the Deputy Mayor role. Ali, I commend you on a job well done. I was fortunate enough to jump into some mayoral job, so I experienced that Deputy Mayor position, which can be a difficult one also. So job well done. Thank you.
Thank you. And Councillor Edwards?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. CEO. Yeah, Mayor Wardy, as they all call you out there in our little circle of area and influence, you've done a good job, mate. For me, I think you're natural community-minded. I think a lot of people don't understand what you give up as the mayor, particularly when you have a full-time job and you're required to go down to part-time. It's a huge sacrifice for you and your family. So you've done it with integrity. You can hold your head up high, mate. You've done a great job. Councillor Minari, you've been a really good Deputy Mayor. You've worked well as a team, and I think that's indicative of our Shire. I think that we generally do work as a team. We all have our different views on different things, but a job really well done by both of you. Thank you. And I think your community should thank you both for the work you've done.
Thank you, Councillor Edwards. Just before I present a gift to Councillor Ward, I think from the point of view of the administration and from me personally, I would like to say a very big thank you to Councillor Ward. A lot of people wouldn't have known of the difficult year and the challenges on certain projects we encountered this year, and I think Councillor Ward as the Mayor came in for probably some unfair criticism during that period, and really supported the organisation through that period, which was very important for us. We wanted to get projects finished as quickly as everybody else, but conditions and the environment we're operating in, and I don't think anybody in the public would even remotely realise, the amount of advocacy that Councillor Ward done on their behalf, especially to me on a Monday morning after the emails or whatever it is. I think he used to walk the Shire on the weekend, and he would find the faults and then send them to me via email and letting me know exactly what needs to be fixed, advocating for the public. And I think that's one component that the people don't see, is the work that Councillor Ward done in the background, and the toll that took as well with dealing with a lot of those issues as well. So I think from my point of view and from the organisations, we're really appreciative. So we do have a very small gift. It's probably the smallest gift I've ever handed to anyone ever, and we also have some flowers for Mrs. Ward at this moment in time. So here's for the small gift. Incredibly small. Thank you. Thank you.
I thought it might be a picture of Darley Park.
Councillors, I'll move on to the next item, which is 7.3, which is determining the term of the Mayor. Councillors, I seek a motion to appoint the Mayor to a one-year period, and if councillors are wondering why it's a one-year period, there's 1 year left, so you don't really have the option of a two-year period. So I'll really seek someone to move that motion. Councillor Minari and Councillor Dudzik. Councillors, we will now move to electing the Mayor for the period 2023-24. I now call for nominations to the role of Mayor.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Minari, please.
I'd like to nominate...
Sorry, Councillor Edwards, sorry, I just missed it.
Nominate Councillor Tatchell.
Councillor Tatchell.
Well, I'll nominate Councillor Berry.
I'll nominate myself.
Councillor Dudzik. So So, councillors, we have 4 nominations. So I have to flip over a few pages here to get to the back page with the 4 nominations. Councillors, I'm going to just walk off the assumption that everybody accepts the nominations. Yep.
Yes.
Fair enough. So, councillors, I will put each to a vote. And councillors, by a show of hands, please indicate your vote for. So we'll actually go through alphabetically. So we'll start with Councillor Berry. Yeah. Councillor Dudzik. Thank you, Councillor Dudzik. Councillor Minari, show of hands. And Councillor Tatchell. Okay. So, councillor, we have no majority. So at this stage, the councillor with the least votes is excluded. So thank you for participating in the vote, Councillor Dudzik. And we will now move through a voting process with the remaining candidates. So we have Councillor, I just want to confirm, we have Councillor Berry, we have Councillor Minari, and we have Councillor Tatchell. So we'll go through the voting process again, if that is okay. So, Councillor, please show your hands for Councillor Berry. For Councillor Minari. And Councillor Tatchell. Okay. So, councillors, again, as we have no majority, we have one candidate with 2 votes, and we have 2 candidates tied with 3 votes each. So, the candidate with 2 votes will be removed from the vote. So, thank you, Councillor Berry, for participating in the process.
Mr. Mayor, can you, Mr. CEO, can you just clarify that? Did you say that you had
Yes, so
1 with 2 votes and 2 with 3 votes? That's 8.
It's 8, sorry, it is. So we had Councillor Berry and Tatchell. Sorry, we have a... Yeah, sorry, I do misread that. There was a hand up twice. So Councillor Berry has 2 votes and Councillor Tatchell has 2 votes at this moment in time. Sorry. So thank you for that. Has my accountancy degree gone to waste, I think, on that one?
And your actuary.
It was, yeah. We just want to balance the books.
So, Councillor, as you're aware, we have no absolute majority, and we have 2 councillors that are tied on 2 votes each. So, what that means at this moment in time is we have a box with 2 pieces of paper. One of the pieces of paper is marked defeated, and the person who withdraws the defeated will not be allowed to proceed to the next round of voting. Is that clear for everyone? And if that's okay, we will go alphabetically as well.
Thank you.
We go through the process just to make sure it actually does say defeated, just in case anyone's wondering. Okay, so Councillor Berry, you have a blank piece of paper, is it? Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Now we have to go to another vote, and it is with two candidates, so it'll be Councillor Minari and Councillor Berry. Yep. Yep. Sorry, blank as in the other page was one is marked actually defeated. So, councillors, we now have two candidates remaining in the election. Those two candidates are Councillor Berry and Councillor Minari. So I would, again, alphabetically, I would call for people by a show of hands and nominations for Councillor Berry. Sorry, yeah. Okay, now for Councillor Minari. So, councillors, with two candidates and with 7 councillors, you do get the majority straight away. My maths worked on that one. Councillor Minari has now received 4 votes. So I'd like to congratulate Councillor Minari on basically being the next mayor. So congratulations, Councillor Minari. So, councillors, the new mayor will retire to receive the mayoral chain and the robes of office, and will join us again shortly, and will preside over the meeting. So, at this moment in time, if we could take a quick break. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I would firstly like to acknowledge my fellow councillors for electing me as their mayor tonight. It has been another positive year together, and I sincerely do look forward to working with you all in the next 12 months. I truly believe that this council is in good hands. I would also like to extend my gratitude to our Chief Executive Officer, Derek Madden, and to all the executive officers for their support and hard work this year. And to all Moorabool Council staff, thank you for continuing an amazing job throughout the Shire. I would like to acknowledge again Councillor Ward and his amazing work throughout the past year as our mayor. We've had a wonderful year with many projects finally coming to fruition. Rod, you have held yourself with poise and the utmost professionalism when representing this council. I have very much enjoyed working side by side as your deputy, and I thank you for all the support you have given me. Thank you. I've always believed that without the support of your loved ones, you are only half the person that you could be. So to my wonderful supportive wife Sammy, and to our children, to my parents, family and great friends, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for the support, encouragement and love that you have shown. As Moorabool residents, we truly do live in a beautiful part of the world, positioned perfectly with so much at our fingertips. Many families have recognised these features and identified that Moorabool and what Moorabool has to offer. Over the last 3 years in council, one word continues to shine for me, and that word is service. In life, I am determined to find a way to serve and serve greatly without leaving any stone unturned, because I truly believe that the greatest satisfaction in life is determined by our service. As a councillor, we all work for the people of Moorabool. They are the people that put us in these chairs, and I will continue to encourage our residents to reach out and continue those active discussions about the passion we all have for our region. As a councillor, as a community member, and now as your mayor, it is an enormous privilege to be elected mayor of this shire. I will lead with honour and integrity, and I truly feel that Moorabool continues to be on the right path for success in the future. Thank you. So item 7.5, determination to elect a deputy mayor. Councillors, the council should now resolve whether it will take an appointment to the office of deputy mayor, and if so, for what period? That would be 1 year. Therefore, councillors, do I have a motion that council establishes an office of deputy mayor for the period of 1 year? Councillor Tatchell?
Mr Mayor, I'd like, Mrs Mayor, I don't know what we, Madam Mayor, I'd like to propose we don't have a deputy mayor for the last year of council. So my motion will be that we don't actually have one.
Okay. Do I have any other?
I would second that, Madam Mayor.
You would second that, yes. Councillor Sullivan? Do I have any other nominations for a deputy mayor and of
No,
one?
sorry, we debated whether we have a deputy. The councillor's motion was we don't have a deputy mayor.
So we'll go for we will move to vote.
Well,
Madam Mayor?
For no deputy mayor.
I'd like to vote against
Okay, we'll
Councillor Tatchell's motion.
Okay, so we will go to a debate. Councillor Tatchell.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Look, it's the last year of a council term, and it's incredibly difficult when we don't know what the new ward system will be. I tend to think it may still be the same, but the current rules don't allow. Well, it allows the deputy mayor to take the place of the mayor on all occasions, and I think it's the last year of any council, depending on what ward you're in. It's imperative that those people are out and about. And the thing that's probably even more important is that councils that want to run again need to be out in their communities and deal with these things. The other reason is that the deputy mayor's role up until years 1, 2 and 3 are about bringing money in for the next council. And the last year of council is to set the foundations for the next council and to do the advocacy. And so what you tend to do with your last year is use the total skill set of every councillor, that'll be retiring councillors, that'll be new councillors, to be put in positions where they can do their advocacy to actually set up the next council. And I'm a great believer that it's not the ribbons you cut, and we've talked a lot about that tonight. There wasn't a lot mentioned about who created the money to cut those ribbons, but I can tell you now that our role in our last year at council is not to cut ribbons, but to make sure we've got ribbons to cut. And that is the importance of our role. So whilst it's all great and it's fun to, to be these things and be in the paper and all that sort of stuff, at the end of the day, I think it's advantageous to get all of your councillors on board, put them in positions where they're best suited for whatever role that is, whatever opening that is, where you'll get the best bang for your buck based on those skill sets. I think if you confine yourself to a deputy mayor, all of a sudden you're sticking to a protocol which is actually exclusive of those people and may be exclusive of our ability to put our best foot forward for the next council, not this one, for the next one, because it is every council's role to make the place better after they leave for the next people, not what you're doing. It should be, the place should be left in good nick. It should be left so that people have the capacity to move on with whatever roadmap is in place, and it should be put in place in such a way that it makes it easier for the next council to navigate that roadmap. So that's my view, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Tatchell. On the dissent, Councillor Ward.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Having served as mayor last year was a great privilege, but I know from first-hand experience over those 12 months I relied not just on my fellow councillors, but I relied heavily on the support of a deputy mayor. It's without stating the obvious, the population of Moorabool Shire is growing rapidly, and with that the commitments of the mayor is growing significantly. I see one of the most important roles of a mayor, apart from community engagement, is advocacy, and having the ability of having a deputy mayor to share that advocacy load, whether it be with the sections of state government, state MPs, federal MPs, is very, very important. So I don't think that can be underestimated. Councillor Tatchell mentioned this next year a council is about preparing for the next council. He's absolutely right, and I think by having a deputy mayor, we'll be able to, as a council, increase our advocacy efforts, because we have some big goals ahead of us. We have some big priorities ahead of us for not just next year, but the next 4 years of council. And I think we can best position ourselves to do that by actually having a deputy mayor supporting the mayor. So I certainly relied heavily on my deputy mayor last year, and I think it's a pretty important role, and I would like to see us continue with the deputy mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Ward. I'll give Councillor Sullivan as a seconder. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Going forward, we're entering the 4th year of a council term. And I think we need to understand there's enough experience around this table for any council to step up to that role at any given time to represent the mayor. And I note in the background to the report itself, it says the deputy mayor would stand in. The mayor is unavailable to reason to attend a council meeting or part of a council meeting. The mayor is incapable of performing duties of the mayor or any reason, including illness, or the office of mayor is vacant. I would suggest that we could put in councillor in there, because any councillor around this table could, and have done in the past, stood for the mayor. I don't think that's, and it's also quite good for councillors to actually get that experience of standing in for the mayor. In the past, we've not had mayors. We've had councils over the journey. We have not had a deputy mayor, rather, and they've worked exceptionally well. I would have thought that we've reached a level of maturity now as a council for any council to step up if the need arises. Even in Councillor Ward's summary for the year, he did mention that Councillor Berry came in at different times to do things, and Councillor Dudzik. So I think it's not foreign for us to have other councillors step up, and we have to bear that in mind. I think that's important. And as we're going into this final year of a council, I think it's paramount that we broaden the experience and not limit it to one person, i.e. a deputy mayor. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Sullivan. I'll open up for any other councillors to speak before we close. Would any other councillors like to speak?
Thanks,
Councillor Berry?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, I'd just like to add to that as personally I did stand up and I really was privileged to do that, and at short notice. And I also reiterate what both Councillor Tatchell and Councillor Sullivan were saying. When we're going into a new term, I think if the councillors that are standing and re-stand and get in, it would be a great achievement if they had that experience. I think advocacy also is a difficult one, and it's essential for a council to operate. We have to get all that money for to get these big projects, and I think if everybody has that experience, the learnings, we've achieved great things in council. So yeah, I'd like everyone to have that opportunity, whether it's a table or however it happens, but that's my view. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Berry. Anyone else would like to speak? Councillor Dudzik.
Having a deputy mayor actually excludes other councillors from opportunities, and I actually think it's better if all councillors get the opportunity to step in at different events and to chair different meetings. I don't think it's right for one person to necessarily always be given that opportunity, and also the mayor should be prepared to conduct the role of mayor as mayor without being handled through it. So yeah, I don't support having a deputy mayor. I think that all councillors can assist the mayor when needed.
Thank you, Councillor Dudzik. Anyone else? No? Okay, we will go to a vote. Oh, sorry, Councillor Tatchell, to close the debate. Thank you.
I'm not going to repeat what I said before. I think there's some very experienced people in this room, experienced mayors, and we all understand that there are times in terms of relationships of politicians, whether it be in Canberra or whether it be in Spring Street, where you call upon the experience of other councillors, you call upon the relationships of other councillors with those people. And in the past councils, it's been utilised in a very sensible and extensive way to make sure that we can approach things with our best foot forward. And I can take you back to it's only 12 years since we arrived here. In Tom's case, I think it was 1876, but the fact was that in those first years there was a lot of complications in terms of budgets and raising money to build infrastructure, capital works, and we'd often talk to Phil Jeffrey about, geez, how we're going to make it. We're a $36 million economy back then in total to build things, and some 12 years later, last year, I think we nudged over $96 million, and that was built by relationships of people that were on council, the relationships we utilised within our general managers and their relationships within those people. It's extraordinarily important, and I've been in business 40 years, and I can tell you, the day I think I'm the smartest in the room, I'm in a heap of trouble. You always try and employ or get people that are smarter than you so that you can move forward. And it's exactly the same in council. If there's a relationship out there, or there's an opportunity out there for another councillor to broaden or expand a relationship, it must be taken into account. That's how councils move forward, and that's why this council has been relatively successful in terms of how it cuts its ribbons. But you know, once again, we've got a year, and I think we're in turbulent times with the state government, turbulent times with the federal government. We're going to need every ounce of support we can get, every ounce of knowledge we can get out of this room, every ounce of relationship we can get out of this room to make sure that we can continue to go forward into the future, and the people that replace us in years to come have that opportunity to be as grateful as we have been for the support that we've had. And so from my perspective, it's about time in the third year of council that the new councillors that came, that are now experienced councillors, were given that opportunity to blossom. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tatchell. Okay, so just to be clear, we are voting on having no deputy mayor. So I will call for hands for no deputy mayor. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5, yep. It is 1, we do not have another, we are not having a Deputy Mayor. Thank you, everyone. I will move to... Sorry. So a mover is Councillor Tatchell and seconded is Councillor Sullivan. Thank you. Sorry, just a little bit of a different one for me on the first one. So we'll move to item 8.1, Chief Executive Officer Report, Mayoral and Council Allowances. Where is it? Councillors, do I have a mover for item 8.1? Councillor Ward. Seconder? Councillor Tatchell. Any dissent? All those in favour? It's carried. Thank you. Councillors, I'll move to item 8.2. The second report on tonight's agenda is titled Council Meeting Framework and Meeting Schedule. Councillors, do I have a mover for...
Madam Mayor, I would move it. Just a question. This is similar to what we've enjoyed in the last 12 months.
Through the chair, that is correct.
Thank you. I'll move the recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor Sullivan. Seconded by Councillor Tatchell. Do I have any dissent? All those in favour? Carried. Thank you. Councillors, officers and members of the gallery, that concludes all of the business for tonight's statutory meeting of Council. I look forward to working with my fellow councillors, the executive group and the community in achieving our goals and objectives within our council plan. I would like to invite you all to stay on and enjoy the hospitality provided tonight. I declare the meeting closed. Thank you.